really rocked during the 1980s, before everyone started worrying about getting AIDS, and corporate bigwigs started requiring employees to take drug tests. There was cocaine everywhere. We called it enjoying the 3 C's of Las Vegas: cocaine, cocktail waitresses, and cognac. I was working in a downtown joint where dealers were doing lines in the employee lounge, and everyone looked the other way. It wasn't just dealers back in those days either. I was younger then, of course, and single. And I remember that it wasn't uncommon for me to have women slip me the keys to their rooms after they had played blackjack at one of the tables where I was dealing. Hell, I had them get up and follow me around the casino when the floor manager would rotate me to a different table to give another dealer his break. One night, I had this gorgeous blonde, about 21 years old, sitting at my table. Looked sort of like Marilyn Monroe. She was married to this slug. He was overweight and ugly, and he was losing big. So he went to play dice, and she and I started talking. I knew right off she didn't like her husband, because every time she saw him coming, she rolled her eyes. One time she just flat out says, "Oh hell, here he comes again, why can't he just leave me alone?" Now this broad doesn't know much about cards, and she's making plenty of dumb mistakes, so I start helping her. When she needs to take a hit, I don't even ask her. I just pull a card out of the shoe and give it to her. If she shouldn't take a hit, I just skip her. Without waiting for her to ask for a card, she catches on and just sits there, and we start winning. I mean, she's kicking my butt. Or should I say, I'm kicking my own butt. She starts giggling and getting excited, and pretty soon my shift is about over. So I bring up how I'm going to leave. Now I'm pressing her for a tip, but instead she says to me, "How'd you like to have a drink in my room?" Luckily, there wasn't anyone else at my table, because I could lose my job over this. But I figure no one will know, right? So I say sure. And she starts to take out her room key and hand it to me. And I'm thinking, Jesus, the guys watching this from the eye in the sky are going to be busting my butt because this broad just won a couple hundred from me. And they're going to figure that I was cheating for her. So I tell her just to tell me the room number. About this time, her husband comes up, and this gal is slick. She gives him all the cash that she has just won so he can keep playing craps. And then she says she has a headache and needs the key to their room. He asks her where her key is, and she says she lost it. I told you she was smart. Now she has his key and her own, but she never really lost it. 15 minutes later, I am in this broad's room having sex. She's acting like she has spent the last 10 years on a desert island. I get out some coke and we do some lines, and all of a sudden there's this knocking on the door, and I hear her husband's voice. I figure I'm dead. Now I'm going to lose my job, and probably some teeth too. But this broad is totally cool. She tells him that she doesn't want to see him because she's been throwing up. She drank too much, she says. She tells him that she'll meet him in the bar in 20 minutes. Now he complains, but she gets him to leave without ever opening the door. Meanwhile, I'm pulling on my pants and getting ready to climb out a window. Now here's the wacky part. This broad says to me, "Do you know anyone who I could hire to kill my husband?" I said, "What?" She says, "All you Vegas dealers have connections with the mob, don't you?" It was the damnedest thing. I got the hell out of there and told myself I would never take another chance like that again. You know what happened? The next night, this broad and her husband sit down at my table, and they spend the entire night playing there. Her husband wins a couple $100 and hands me a 50 as a tip. He was a real George. And the dumb son of a bitch didn't have a clue that I'd nailed his wife the night before, and she was looking for someone to kill him.